Guys, I might jump around a little bit here. I had a hard time with this. My source is Ariel, right? You guys know I watch Ariel every day. I usually bring you guys something from Ariel's show. But every now and then I got to rewind him. Not very often. I usually can follow and I know exactly what he's talking about. But I'm disclosing to you. Let me get close. Let me get close. Don't totally fact check me because I will get you 100% at least within my point. But Ariel's told a story that went something like this. Alexa Grasso beats Valentina Shevchenko. That was Saturday. Already it has been announced that the Bullet will get the immediate rematch with Grasso. Ariel didn't agree with that. Now, Ariel had a very strong point when he said that matchmaking lacks creativity. Now, he's winning me over. I'm listening. But his larger contention was the reason that you should not do that is if the Bullet succeeds, it kind of takes that whole moment away from Grasso. As we fast forward the tape, unless we're real astute, we're not going to realize that there was a bump in the road of the reign of Valentina. A quick glance is going to look like she won the belt over here, and then whenever she gives the belt up, but it's going to look like she had it the whole time. You got to be real astute to know that this happened, but it's important that you know this happened because that is the career and the memories of Alexis Grasso. Now, I thought that was overthinking by Ariel, but I don't know that he's totally wrong. I suppose things happen like that. And I suppose that because the Venezuela vixen just had that happen. We kind of live in the same area. I'm in Portland here, in Oregon, rather. She's up here in Washington. So kind of know the same people. It's kind of the same circle. And there are some people that forgot that there was a hiccup in the road. And I bring you the vixen more because I want to bring you Amanda. Now, there is not, and I just want to create a conversation here with you guys. That's my goal. First off, I just don't know that they already announced there's a rematch. That was one of the problems when I told you, I think maybe I'm hearing Ariel wrong. It was pretty clear from what I heard Ariel say that they're doing a rematch. I just don't think they would have announced it that fast. I don't think they went out of their way to announce any matches from that card, let alone something with a champion, let alone something with a co-main event. That part really didn't make sense. We don't know what the other folks are doing, but we're going to talk about the also ran. Would have surprised me, and therefore I suggest for you that within the words that I heard Ariel say, perhaps there were words prior to that, and he said it looks like we're going this direction, and then he tackled it from that standpoint. But I will bring up for you that there's no massive fight for Shevchenko, but she thinks there is. She has been, to give the fans what they want, she's been calling for that for 2 years now. Give the fans what they, which is her versus Amanda. That's just not it's not whatever she thinks it is. They've already fought twice. It wasn't then, it wasn't the second time, it's not. But she thinks it is. That's relevant what she thinks, because if she would like a shot at Amanda, she needs to leave her current weight class. And she needs to go into the weight class that Amanda's in. And there was no real ability to leave without the approval of Dana White when you're the champion. When you're not the champion, you can send him a text message and just let him know, I am now going into this weight. And he will write you back, okay. So this was the opportunity. Go up, make your argument, get right into a title bid. There's not much of a stronger argument out there for you. There's not anybody in the world who's trying to fight Amanda. And if it doesn't work out that way, you might have to do it. And I'm just making a suggestion for you. I'm not looking to give anybody a hard time. I'm just making a suggestion for you that if you are sincere with your words, that you think that that's the fight, and you think that the world wants to see, and you always know an athlete who's the narcissist. Because the narcissist will just follow their own career. The narcissist will come out and tell you within interviews what everyone wants to see, but the everyone is only their Twitter DMs. You'll know that. They won't know what the headlines are. They won't know what the main events are. They won't know the big fights that they were just booked. They won't know who's sleeping with who and who's getting ready to. They won't know any of these things. They'll only know their world, and they'll disclose it for you at some point. In Valentina's case, it was to say they'll fight the world wants to see. I live in this world. I have never heard those words from anybody but her. Now, I trust that her refresh button on her iPhone probably talks about it a lot. But if you're sincere and it's what you want to do, I would think that the opportunity would be now. The world doesn't want to see Valentina fight Amanda, but I don't have a better idea for Amanda, right? Like I don't love that idea, but I don't have a better idea. If I'm comparing, do I want to see Valentina and Amanda go in part 3, where Valentina moves and is officially in this weight class, right? Got to be a burning of the boats moment. It can't be a Volkanovski. You can't keep it at 45 and slide up. You got to burn your boats. I'm no longer here. It's this or bust. Or do they want to see Valentina versus Grasso part 2? They didn't want to see part 1. Why would they want to see part 2? I mean, it's one of these interesting spots that if you ask me from that perspective, yeah, I'll lean towards Amanda and the Bullet. But there's no other time that I would. There's no other time I wanted to see that fight. I had to see it. And then they forced me to see it again. And now it's a third time. Like, I don't know how to make it any clear. I don't want to see that fight. But if you're comparing it to a Grasso rematch, for the first time ever, you would have won me over to what she believes the world wants to see. And the opportunity's now, right? This is where you always find out. This is where you always find, it'll always come up who's talking, who's not. There will always be that opportunity for the person to get what they said they want. Always. It will always come up. On accident, on short notice, quietly over here. Dude's in town and found out you were talking and you could slide over here and meet. There's always in your life going to be an opportunity for those ideas. And seldomly you get to see who actually wants them. When they actually are here, who wants to go and do it? Who really believes that they can win? Right? The 45-pounder who stays champion at 45 does not think he can win at 55. If he thought he could win, he would have left that belt. He'd have closed that light out. He'd have X'd that contract. He wanted to have open that he's going to drop back down. Not giving him a hard time. I'm sure this is human nature. Definitely not giving Volkanovski a hard time. It was very courageous what he did. I admired the holy hell out of it. You can't become double champion if you let one go. I mean, there's problems with what I'm saying too. I'm just sharing for you. You now know. It doesn't matter if he's going to win. People surprise themselves all the time. You now know that he doesn't think he's going to win. People win all the time, don't think they were going to win, right? But now we know as the audience, it's important that we think that they win. Look, if she really thinks, and I'm talking about Shevchenko, that the fight's Amanda, the time is now. If Ariel thinks that the company announced a rematch for a co-main event, he should probably check his source.